What's up, guys? Hey, how we doing? So KTM is hitting some seriously hard financial times. I'm going to tell you what it means for the teams and riders during the season. It's going to be difficult. And Hayden Degan has declared which coast he's going to race on. And I'll tell you what that is and what this means. If you have any pain and you haven't tried Nano-Xtreme, I'm telling you, you're doing yourself a disservice. You've got to try this. It helps me with my knee, my shoulder. Anytime something's hurting, I drop a little Nano-Xtreme on there and it's gone. It's crazy how good this stuff works. Hit up Nano-Xtreme, drop in code Cooksy and get free shipping. Check out Complete Racing Solutions. Coach Rob has programs starting at $15 a month. This gives you his complete library. He's got a bot on there that gives you his specific answers. So if you want to get yourself in shape and get a good program, hit up CompleteRacingSolutions.com.
You need people like me so you can point your fucking fingers and say, that's the bad guy.
So Hayden Degan decided which coast he's racing on, and according to this Instagram post, he's going on the west.
Yeah, I'm not going to wait 2 months to go race east. It's too much waiting. I feel good, so we're heading west coast, baby.
Pressure is now on Levi Kitchen. If you want to talk the way you've been talking and have this beef with Hayden Degan, now you got to go race west. Go over to Mitch, tell Mitch, I need to race west. I would imagine he probably let him. I'm sure he could make that happen if he really, really wanted it. I don't want to hear any excuses about how Mitch didn't want him in the West or any of that crap. Levi, either you race west and go against Hayden Degan or you look like a bitch. Hayden has thrown the gauntlet down. He's told you where he'll be. Are you going to show up? That's the question. If you truly want to be his rival and you think you can handle him, show up in the West and lay it down. That's the way to go after this. If he does anything but race the West Coast, and unless there's a legitimate reason, say an injury or something like that, there's no reason Levi Kitchen shouldn't be in the West challenging Hayden Degan. So man, Anaheim 1 just got a little more exciting. And I do have a quick update. I kind of screwed up on the coasts. Club MX put out what they're going east and what they're going west. I screwed it up. Max Voland and Mark Phineas are going to be on the east, and Cody Schock and Jet Reynolds will be in the west for Club MX. So I had that wrong. It's Cody Schock and Jet Reynolds who will be in the west, and Max Voland, who's still recovering from that nasty hip injury, and rookie Mark Phineas will be in the east. So if you guys haven't been following it, KTM is in serious financial trouble to the tune of $3.3 billion. Yes, they're in for $3.3 billion. And they got there because executives looked at spreadsheets instead of the market. They overpaid for an electric bicycle company. They bought MV Agusta that hasn't been profitable in 30 years. They have told financial executives to make numbers work, essentially asking these people to fudge the numbers to make sure they work like their projections. Robbing Peter to pay Paul works for a little while, but then it creates these gigantic holes. You can cover that stuff up and make yourself look like a hero with spreadsheets for a while until it finally collapses. That's exactly what happened at Tucker Power Sports with the moron, all morons, Mark McAllister. He did that exact same thing. You cut here, cover this, cover that, and you keep making poor projections and trying to look good and feed your ego. Next thing you know, the company is in financial ruins. KTM is alarming right now. Right now, they haven't paid their employees. As of the time of recording this video, there's employees who were due money on December 7th that have not got paid. I don't see how they can go racing and pay budgets if they don't do this. If they can't even pay their employees, how does it look when they pay Chase Sexton a $100,000 win bonus if he can win a race? That's not a good look. It doesn't make for good morale. That has got to be tough around that whole team. You know, a lot of the guys around the team are even making jokes like, yeah, if our check's clear. So what I was told when it comes to KTM Racing is it is its own standalone company out of Switzerland. It is not the same as the KTM. Obviously, they're tied together, but they have separated them on paper for tax reasons. And I was told KTM Switzerland has enough money to pay the riders and pay the teams. How does it look to the factory and the employees who aren't getting paid and they see the racers and teams getting the exact same money that they were promised when they're doing their jobs and not getting their salaries? Man, I would hate to be on these teams because they are going to cut everything. Any extra spending will go. Good luck squeezing in an extra test day. Good luck ordering, new parts that you need during the season. If you need to make some adjustments, There will be none of that on this team. It's going to be, essentially, they're going to have to operate similar to like what a privateer team does and make their own stuff, which I'm sure they do a lot of that as is, but they will not have the factory resources available that they've probably had in the past where they can say, hey, we need you to make this, and they go back to the factory and they make it. They're not going to have that option this year, and that's going to put them in a real bind. And I don't know if you've ever worked at a company when they're going out of business. Morale is awful. And you know it's awful. Everybody walking around going, okay, I hope my check clears this week. Did yours clear? Mine cleared? And then they're getting rid of people that they deem unnecessary when you might feel them as necessary. It creates a weird atmosphere. And how are these guys going to get through this? Is Chase Sexton going to be able to just block it out, go racing? Same with Aaron Plessinger, Julian Boehmer, and Tom Vial, knowing that, at any moment the rug could get pulled out from underneath them. So KTM filed this thing, it's like a Chapter 11. So essentially they have 90 days to kind of refigure the company and make the numbers work and trim the essential salaries to make this thing a profitable business again. And if they can't, at the end of that 90 days and court deems that they're doomed for failure, they will Chapter 7, which means they will sell off all remaining assets and just dismantle the company. I can't imagine that makes for a good atmosphere when you're trying to win a championship, you're trying to stay in shape, you're trying to get all the things you need to go racing. It's going to get weird around the KTM, Husqvarna, and Gas teams this year while this hangs over. I don't know if they're going to end up getting sold. Who knows? I really hope that this restructuring gets it enough money that they're allowed to go racing and spend the budget they need to be competitive. But it is tough if this money goes, that's all that they have to go racing. There is no money coming back from the series. They are not getting TV revenue. They are not getting ticket revenue. They are not getting any of the stuff that they should be getting. So this makes them very, very fragile. This business model is broken. And that's what I've been screaming for years. This is why these promoters dislike me so much, is because I've talked about how this would actually, and this is the thing they don't understand. I'm not trying to just take money out of their pockets. What I'm trying to do is build a more solid sport so that, say if KTM does completely fold, if these guys have team revenue sharing from like TV contracts and sponsors that sponsor the series, they would still have enough money to go racing. Yes, they would still be in trouble. They'd still have to go find sponsors and it would get tight, but they would not have this risk of disappearing. Right now, they could pull the rug and we could lose Chase Sexton, Aaron Plessinger, Tom Vial, Julian Boehmer, Justin Barcia, Casey Cochran, Ryder DeFrancisco, Malcolm Stewart, and RJ Hampshire. All these guys mid-season could have the rug completely pulled out from under them and not have jobs. Let's not forget that Alden Baker and the Baker's Factory has had an agreement with the Pierre Group, which is KTM essentially. The riders pay Alden. KTM or the Pierre Group does not directly pay Alden, but they have an agreement where if they don't provide him enough riders to give him the amount of money that he needs, there's a certain threshold. If they don't meet that, then KTM picks up the tab, and that's how he keeps other riders from joining the Baker Factory. I can't imagine that these riders are going to fork over Alden's money if they're not getting paid their bonus money. It's going to get really weird on many, many levels. Are we going to see Alden reaching out to the other manufacturers and saying, hey, come on in, we are no longer Pierre Group exclusive? Are we going to see these guys possibly shopping themselves to other manufacturers during the season, knowing that, hey, I might make it through this season, but I won't get through the next, even though I have a contract that extends beyond that? It is going to be really weird, and I can't imagine having to deal with that kind of stress in addition to getting ready for Supercross. And Chase Sexton's got to go against some heavy hitters. Eli Tomac is dialed in. Jet Lawrence is one of the best riders we've ever seen. And Cooper Webb, we know Cooper Webb always comes in and means business. There is some serious competition. He's got to deal with this from his own team. That's a lot to ask of one rider. I definitely feel for these guys. I've been a part of a company that was falling apart like this, and it makes for some unsettling times. Check out Epic Garage Designs. Travis has some of the coolest cabinets, flooring, slat wall, anything to make your garage look badass. Travis loves the sport, and he comes up with some really cool stuff. So check out epicgaragedesigns.com. Ride strapped. Get your goggles, glasses, shirts from a company that truly does give back at the grassroots level. If you haven't checked out the video I did with TJ, we followed TJ around Birch Creek Motocross. He is in a wheelchair, but he goes out there and races. He is a strapped rider, and man, this was pretty cool to watch. So check that video out and hit Ride Strapped. Precision Transport. This is a family-owned shipping company that believes in customer service, reasonable pricing. We've had a lot of you guys already use them, and everybody comes back with rave reviews. They are that good. So if you're not sure about shipping companies and you don't like using them, most people don't, they're really shady, use Precision Transport. That's pretransport.com. And now a lot of you guys hate it when I do this, but it's the off season. I'm going to do it anyway. If you don't like any of my political or non-motocross takes, turn the video off now. So I just want to talk a little bit about these pardons. I am disgusted with how many pardons the Biden administration is issuing. I mean, they're sending Chinese spies out. They're freeing them. Like, seriously, this is common knowledge. They have set free almost 8,000 people, pedophiles, and all these things, and they make sure to put in the press release non-violent. Just because someone had all this child porn and committed espionage, they're non-violent. Are we sure about that? It is disgusting what they're doing. And then talking about giving preemptive pardons? Why on earth would we ever need a preemptive pardon unless they're doing something wrong? And this administration knows about it. If they give Fauci and the World Economic Forum people that we know committed atrocities on the entire world, if they give these guys preemptive pardons, I'm going to lose my mind. This is disgusting. If they think it's a political witch hunt, so be it. Let's hear the court information. Just from the stuff that's out there right now, I can tell you Dr. Fauci needs to be in jail or worse. What he has done and what he has committed on this society is disgusting. And with the World Economic Forum declaring that COVID was just a behavioral test to see who would go along, they actually come out and said that. I mean, that's not the exact way they said it, but that's essentially what they're trying to say is, oh no, it was just a test. So they're trying to say, oh, it was a test to see how we'd handle it if we had a worse virus. They are backtracking. They are busted. We need to hold them accountable. We cannot let them off the hook. So if there's any pardons given, preemptive pardons given to the people who committed this atrocity, I'm going to lose my mind. Don't do it. Please don't do it, Biden administration. That is disgusting. Let's get these people and hold them accountable for what they've done. Our society has seen what these evil bastards have done, and we're fed up. We're fed up to the point where, a CEO is gunned down in cold blood by a gunman, and he's actually cheered. A lot of people see that guy as a hero. I don't think you can just gun somebody down in cold blood, but I kind of get it. With the way these insurance companies and these drug companies have used us and had no empathy for human beings as people, they just use us for dollars and cents. Here, take this vaccine that's just, we don't know what's in it, but you have to take it or else you're going to a camp. Like, that type of attitude has got to go. And if that takes a couple CEOs getting gunned down, I'm not mad. If you want to give Fauci a preemptive pardon, I'll be hoping somebody does what they did to that CEO. Why would you need a preemptive pardon unless you know they're doing stuff that's illegal and you want to cover it up? There's no other reason to do a preemptive pardon. They're trying to claim it's because there's going to be a witch hunt. Well, if it's a witch hunt, it's a witch hunt. You're not going to find anything. If you need a pardon, that means you did something. They're trying to cut this off before the investigation even starts. Nah. I want to know what happened. I want to know who's responsible, and I want them held accountable. Just say no to preemptive pardons, guys. No preemptive pardons, and let's chill with these other pardons. The Biden administration is out of control with this thing. Members, thank you guys so much. I appreciate everything, and I'll be back. I did an interview with Uli Stocker, the German Supercross rider, and it's good, man. He gave me some information. I'll be dropping that tomorrow, and man, you're not going to want to miss that one. He had some real nuggets in there. From being detained by ICE to, being harassed at Loretta Lynn's. Man, Uli has been around and seen some stuff, and he wasn't scared to share it all. So check that out, guys. All right, thank you, and here's